Wednesday, Hump Day, remote edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you live today from Even Keel Fish Shack in beautiful Lauderdale by the sea. It is a spectacular day. The humidity is down, the breeze is up, people are streaming to the beach, and I've got myself right here a beautiful Bloody Mary, which is good because Jeff Defo DeForest, today I am hungover, hoarse, and hungry. How are you?
I couldn't be better. I mean, we're here in my hometown, Lauderdale by the Sea, so it was a short jog down the strip here to get to Even Keel Fish Shack, which is among my favorite places, and I love broadcasting from here. It's always great. Brad does a tremendous job with Dave and the lovely Deb, who cost you a stick when it came to her Boston Celtics. Actually suggested that Jason Tatum should come here and do a little work on the wall because he laid enough bricks in the finals to redo the entire place, although I love the decor here. And it was great. Lubie, you would love this because you didn't see Mike Mayo in his full blown glory last night as he was sort of hosting and emceeing this giant party to launch the Best of Delray app. Steve Dickstein was in rare form. I met his lovely wife. And oddly, the star of the show, if it wasn't Mayo, second star of the night honors went to Tasso, Joe Casal's dog, who really lit the place
Tasso.
up and was among the most popular. I guess you could consider him, a being there, and was also a great chick magnet. I mean, Casal he has his lovely fiance or wife, Carol. It is right.
Yeah, she used to work at
Carol
UM,
used
I
to
think.
work at
Worked
UM.
Rich
Yes,
Dalrymple. Yeah, it's long. I mean, it's funny. You meet people that blast from the past, and last night was incredible. And I thank you, Defo, and the lovely Mustang Sally for turning out and making the schlep all the way up to Delray Beach. But I think it was well worth it. It was kind of a first class affair, don't you think?
very well done. I was not familiar with the is it Miso or Meso Beach House? Very very fine establishment, and they had all kinds of good stuff going on there. Had so many appetizers. You know what they had that reminded me of the old days of my days of waiting tables at the Dharma Greb, the Moroccan restaurant in L.A. that I've mentioned a few times. They had what seemed like the equivalent of the Moroccan salad with the eggplant, kind of tomato base, tomato sauce base. I mean, this was part of their hummus appetizer assortment that they brought out. But I happen to love that. I don't know. It's a Moroccan salad. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but I don't know if you had any of that stuff that was sort of the eggplant thing in the offerings they gave us. But very, very reminiscent of the salads that I used to love there that they had at the Dharma Greb restaurant, Moroccan restaurant in L.A.
No, they have great food there at Meso Beach House there, and it's right off of the Intracoastal and Atlantic Boulevard on the east side of the Intracoastal. And I suggest people can go out there and check it out. They have happy hours now all day during the summertime, I think from 11 o'clock till about 6 o'clock. And again, they have all kinds of good Mediterranean dishes, light bites, things that go well in the summertime here in South Florida. And thank all the people out there at Meso, including Chef Sean, who's a friend of Sarah Sarpolis, the great marketing director for Best of Delray Beach. And again, we're streaming today live on all the different channels that Lubie he has set up. We're streaming today. So besides being on the great airwaves of WWNN and 1470 and 95.3, we are also streaming live on the South Florida Live Network, which you can access through YouTube or Facebook, or today I've put the link up on the Best of Delray Beach Facebook group, which is now
Nice.
approaching 7,000, which considering we just
Ooh.
launched it at the beginning of the year, and it kind of goes in tandem with the Best of Delray app, which you could download at the App Store and on the Google Play by searching for Best of Local or Best of Delray Beach, and it'll bring you the app, which again is up and running. We're celebrating the launch. We're doing well. It's a great guide to find all the good restaurants and nightlife and attractions around Delray. Eventually, we're going to have all kinds of directory of business directory for services like roofers, plumbers, nail salons, day spas, and we're doing a staggered, layered approach, as I explained last night to the people, because we don't want people to get overwhelmed. We want them to get on the app, learn the app. It's very useful. I was showing it to Deborah out here today at Even Keel Fish Shack. and she was impressed by the functionality. And you could go around and compare different menus. We got restaurants grouped by different categories, like cheap eats, or actually we call it bang for the buck. We've got date night places. We've got best of the best, and it's. I'm proud of it. I'm not ashamed to say that, Jeff Defo DeForest. Not just because Dick Steen is my man and he's a great eater. He's become a good friend, and it was good to see him out there and you and him schmoozing and hitting it off, and I guess ticking a few people off too, right? Huh?
I mean, I don't understand that one guy. I guess Dick Steen said he knew him, was a neighbor, an angry, honoring neighbor. I know he happened to be at his table. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm schmoozing with Dick Steen, and I figure, okay, if he's sitting at a table, it's probably friendly turf, right? So I start telling a story, and I see this guy give me a look like, who is this moron you brought over here? And the other people were very much entertained by the conversation. We were having a good time. And Dick Steen seemed to get along famously with them, but you could tell. I mean, there was one sourpuss at the table, and he eventually told us, "Hey," he kind of dismissed us by saying, "Hey, look," kind of waved us off to get out of there and said, "Can you see we're having dinner?" Which the food had just come to the table, so I mean, we were more than happy to get away from this guy because he was the one downer in an otherwise, I mean, just really upbeat evening. I will say this though, and it's a very useful commodity. This Best of Delray app, because there are like literally like hundreds of great restaurant choices. I know you're not a fan for some reason, even though, which I find this interesting, you've never eaten there. But Dada, I found to be great last night. It was exactly what we wanted. We were outside. I did have the Dada dates, even though the Mustang rejects like the very first premise, which is wrapped in bacon, which they are. Great job that they did in the preparation of this. It's an appetizer, goes about $16. You get four of them. I managed to eat two there, and I still have a couple in the fridge, and they're calling my name, Mike Mayo. And then we had a couple of other things. Well, one thing, I mean, you would really have to go out of your way to get me interested in ordering like cauliflower. I know in some of these vegetarian restaurants, they make like a spicy cauliflower, but they have like a crispy cauliflower appetizer. We didn't get it, but I've had it before. Absolutely sensational. So a good time at Dada, but it's one of like, literally like a couple of hundred choices has to be of really, really top-notch dining in Delray Beach, right there in the same area, all along Atlantic Avenue.
Yeah, no, we've loaded about 350 or 320 actually restaurants onto the Best of Delray app. I think about 250 of them are in Delray Beach proper, and we have a category called Worth the Drive. So I think there's about another 50 or 70 of restaurants that are in the surrounding area, Boynton Beach and Boca, and eventually we're going to be expanding and bringing best ofs to all different areas of South Florida and the nation, and then the world. We're trying to, get things right, and then we're going to be expanding. And again, I like what I see. I like what I saw at the party last night. I'm sorry for the little, Dixie.
Your eyes were wandering there. You had
Oh no,
nomadic
no, there
eyeballs.
was
I
a
mean,
lot of
it's a good thing
a
you
lot
weren't
of
with the
good
ex. Yeah,
a lot of good scenery out there.
yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the Intracoastal, but Delray Beach is a happening hot spot.
I
And
didn't
it's
even know
funny,
if you noticed the water there. I mean, the way you were looking around the room, it
I
was
almost
great,
fell
Mike.
in
Yeah,
at one
yeah,
point. I was having a couple of cocktails last
yeah.
night. But the bottom line, and it's funny because Dickstein, my man Steve Dickstein, and you learned his last name last night. I
Oh, his
told
first
you,
name. I knew he was
I
Dixie.
mean, his first name, right? His last name is all I refer to him as Dickstein. And he could be like a one-man reality show / like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David, because he has his. I guess this person that you met last night, who is the sourpuss, he's had some sort of little feud with him. But yeah, I don't want to get into all that. It was a night of love, and you just stepped away from the table and you went back to the party, and it was a beautiful time. I love seeing people, a lot of publicists and influencers were out there. Uh, Rachel, who does a lot of work with Taco Craft, which you're right across the street from right now, and Mark Falsetto and his Handcrafted Hospitality Group, and Anthony Bruno. Rachel was out there, and also Destiny Beck, Destiny Spang, another big influencer publicist in the Delray area. Great to have everybody come on out. Greg Weiss also is one of our advisors, and he is a big social media presence up there in the Delray Beach area. So it was great to, and of course Joe Casal and the one and only Tasso, who's like we've got to get this dog like a some sort of a contract
More
because
popular than the horse, right? Wasn't there a horse, Tasso, by the same name? I believe so. There was a competitive 3-year-old at one
yeah,
point.
he's like a dachshund. He's like
Yeah.
he was like I guess an adoption dog that Joe got him in the middle of the pandemic for companionship. And this Tasso now, well behaved. He's surrounded by a lot of people. There was no barking. He's very
He
chill.
gave the thumbs up to the chef also because he sampled virtually everything. I didn't know dogs liked hummus so much, but
Yeah.
looks like
So
Tasso will eat virtually anything. No,
and
it was great, and it was nice to see that kind of crowd out there. That was a great restaurant, a great
now
location.
getting back to well, first of all, me, you, and Joe and Lubie and whoever else, we've got to do a lunch bunch up there at that new Abitz, the New Haven Pizzeria. And as much as we love Pizza Spot in Fort Lauderdale, this other Abitz is opened up, and they have a white clam pie that's excellent, and it's a great place that we're going to have to check out with Joe. He wants to. I'll say he wants to treat us because why not? But that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, as far as Dada, it's interesting because it's a place that a lot of people love in Delray, and it's on the Delray Best of Delray app in several categories, including date night and dinner. I've never eaten there. Some of our other eating consultants, including Dickstein, have. And yeah, those bacon wrap dates are a big hit. The reason I've never been in there, and I don't want to tell the full story. I'm sure they're doing a great job. It's just that I know somebody who worked in the kitchen there, and they were saying at one point they maybe were taking some shortcuts and liberties with the cuts of meats used. But I'm sure that's well in the past, and I want to go check it out for myself because you got to, again, judge a place what it is doing currently, and it has a lot of big fans in Delray Beach. So yeah, I'm ready to go in there with an open mind and an open mouth, and that's the way I roll there, Defo, right?
You would like it, I think. I don't know. I mean, you're a little bit more idiosyncratic in your things that you like about restaurants. I just think it's a good place. I've been there a few times. I've never had a bad experience there. Everything I put in my mouth yesterday was absolutely fantastic. And I got out of there with the Mustang. We had a few glasses of wine, almost the equivalent of a bottle. So we were ordering about a glass, but the tab came to like $1 with really two delicious appetizers that were more than enough, and one entree that we split, and 3 glasses of wine altogether. And I thought it was very reasonable. The service was great. People were super polite, very friendly when you made the reservation, and very accommodating. We got there early, actually. There was no look. We sat right down at a perfect table outside. It was really a great place. And I don't know that I've really ever had a bad experience dining in Delray. I mean, I really like that Atlantic Avenue area and the development. Now, there are other areas. Pompano Beach is trying to sort of get to that point. This is an oddity. I don't know if you're aware of what's happening. Have you seen the construction? I don't know if you've been on Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach, Mike, but there's been a place. Of course, the professor put the foundry together there with his partners,
Of
and
course,
that's a great addition to the restaurant scene.
great burger,
Right
great
there
burger.
by the beach, next to the Briny Pub, there's been some redevelopment of restaurants, but it seems to be very popular for outdoor dining. I just dropped the Mustang off at the Oceanic, where she meets a friend periodically for lunch, and that's a good spot. But they've been building this place by the bridge. Have you seen the construction there? It's on the east side of the bridge, on the south side of Atlantic Boulevard. And I read, and I want to believe that it was true. I mean, but at the same time, it seems odd. Instead of some high end, seafood house or steakhouse that they could put on the intercoastal, they're putting a food court concept in there on the water. And I'm not sure who's going to be included in this, but the construction is nearly complete. It's been going on for a couple of years. And I was very surprised to find out that this was going to be a food court. Is that some kind of concept that you think could be successful there?
Yeah, these food courts and food halls have proven to be quite popular because it's something for everyone when you get a group going out, and usually it has a center bar or something, and then people who want either sushi or tacos or pizza or pasta. There's a little something for everyone. So yeah, that's intriguing to see it down by the beach because usually these beach places are seafood oriented or some burgers or tacos, and there's a lot of good stuff coming in there at that, like you said, that Pompano Pier has been redeveloped, and looking forward to see what pops up there. I love that Oceanic restaurant, and I also like Beach House. They have one of the best key lime pies in South Florida, even I think better than Joe's Stone Crab, and that's down on that strip. Getting back to Pompano for a second, I just want to give you the wrap up on my end because you went to Dada with Mustang, and I went with a couple of people. My man Jim Rassel, former photographer at the Sun Sentinel, who did some work with the Best of Delray Beach app. He took some beautiful photos that we've put up on the app as some of our title cards. Jim Rassel and I, and Sopanut from Eat Thai. He's the chef owner of Eat Thai restaurant in Delray Beach, one of my favorite Thai restaurants in all of South Florida. It's at the corner of Linton Boulevard and Federal Highway. And he shut the restaurant on Tuesday. He's usually closed on Tuesdays. And he came out to the party. He's been a big supporter of us and the app, and which is I'm very grateful for Sopanut's support. He brought a whole case of he has this Thai chili sauce and these like ginger chili flakes, and he was just passing them out to the crowd there last night. It was a beautiful thing. But we ended up going after the party to a place called Third and Third, a place that you would really dig, Defo, because it's got live music acts like all weekend, Thursday through I think Sunday. And last night was a quiet night in there, but it's a really good, reasonable, good bar. They have great burger there. I had a hot chicken sandwich there last night that was spectacular. I also had a little pasta and shrimp, and we really enjoyed ourselves. I had a couple of beers. I had my nightcap last night was in honor of you going to New Orleans, Defo. Something called the Sazerac, which is
Wow, what is that?
it's a rye drink with a little bit of absinthe.
Do you
And
drink it out of a hat? That's remember
whoa,
seeing Lubie there with his first hurricane at what is it, Pat O'Brien's? Is that the name of the
it,
place?
when you're
He
in
drank
the
it out
French
of a hat. This kid.
when you're in the French Quarter, first of all, you got to go to the Fairmont Hotel to the Sazerac Lounge and get a Sazerac there because that is one of the classic joints, classic cocktails invented at that bar. That's the Fairmont Hotel in New Orleans. The Sazerac Lounge is famous for inventing the Sazerac. But if you've ever had absinthe, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's like just an evil potion. They put a little bit of in there. And, they say absinthe makes the heart grow fonder. Well, absinthe makes the brain go
Oh,
foggier.
foggier. Yeah,
And it
yeah,
was
yeah. I
just
could see
crazy. And,
that.
I know I'm feeling it today because when I got my Bloody Mary here at Even Keel Fish Shack, where we're at,
Which was a
I tried
spectacular
to.
again. I mean, it looks. Did he throw a couple of shrimp and an octopus on there? I
No,
mean, there's
but
nothing missing there, Mike
I was
Mayo.
trying to sip my Bloody Mary through the celery stalk. So
Yeah,
that's
you're a little off kilter, but that's not uncommon for you on the lunchbox. See, I don't know that noon is your time. This goes back to your sports writing days, probably, where you don't even consider like the morning to be the morning, like 2 p.m. is your idea of morning time. But and we've been doing this for a long time too in the sports world. But after a while, I mean, our end was the morning drive thing, so you're less inclined to start the day with a Bloody Mary. But I like your approach now, Mike Mayo. You're loosening up. You're starting to dig some things. You cut loose from the newspaper industry. You don't know what's going to happen. Not sure of your fate. Next thing you know, you're an entrepreneur. You've got the lunchbox going. You've got Best of Delray, all this other stuff. Let's Eat South Florida is a monster with 80,000. Everybody's, pulling on your coat strings saying, hey, how can we cash in on this? And it's nice to see. It really is. And I've never seen you happier than you were last night. I don't know
I'm
if it was that woman that you met at the very beginning of the party or whatever it was, but
no, I
I've
felt
never
like
seen you happier, Mike Mayo.
I felt like I was at a wedding, my wedding again, except there was not going to be a divorce coming afterwards. It was just a
Oh, don't
beautiful.
count on that, my friend. I thought the second go round was going to be a home run also.
No, it was a beautiful crowd, and I felt like I was at my wedding because I didn't get a chance to eat the whole night. You're just going around mingling, and I had to give a couple of speeches, and now my voice is a little raspy today, but it's okay. And now we're out here at Even Keel Fish Shack, and these are the places I love to come to. And tomorrow we're going to be with Visit Lauderdale, Necky Mohan, out at a place in Wilton Manors called Bubbles and Pearls, and talking to the chef proprietor Josie out there tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. And again, it's time to talk about Visit Lauderdale and their Lauder deals for the summertime. People say, oh, it gets so hot and uncomfortable. Today is absolutely beautiful. You can't do any better in any other part of the country. Sitting at this quarter with this breeze blowing through the bar, it reminds me of why I love Greater Fort Lauderdale so much. Lauderdale by the Sea is one of the areas that people, if you're visiting or a longtime resident, you should get out here. Check it out. And this summer, you can enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauder deals. which is great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more all summer long. So start planning your summer getaway or staycation online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways that you can save. You can find great hotel deals on everything from luxury beach resorts to family-friendly suites. You can indulge in food and drink specials at local restaurants and bars like Even Keel. I think they take part in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale that usually starts in August and September, where they have all kinds of different specials. And you can also shop Lauderdale's for exciting attractions like Flamingo Gardens and Butterfly World. And in addition, if you're a Florida resident, a first responder, or in the military, you'll find even more deals just for you. From miles of golden beaches to pampering at celebrated hotels, resorts, and spas, the good life awaits in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So shop Lauderdale's now at visitlauderdale.com/deals and plan your best summer vacation ever.
I like the idea you're going to be at Bubbles and Pearls tomorrow. You and Nikki Mohan, and of course Mike Lubie Lubitz. That's going to be part of the fanfare, and it sounds like a great place. Tremendous concept. I got to let Lubie throw it to the break here since we're out here at the Even Keel Fish Shack. We're coming back with more. You know the routine.
I filled in a thing or two. You can check everything out that Mayo's Lunchbox has for you. www.nntalkradio.com. Also, everything video-wise, South Florida Live on YouTube, South Florida Live on Facebook. Also, at SoFla Live _ on Twitter and Instagram, and more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox right here on 1470 WWNN next.